I feel the next step in this process is awareness. Now, there's two types of awareness. There's intellectual awareness and emotional awareness. Awareness is when I now am no longer in denial, and I now can see the events that my soul is attracting, and I realise there must be a cause within myself that attracted these events. That's a state of awareness. It's a very good state to be in. A lot of people don't like that state. That's why they live in denial. Because when you're aware, you go, wow, my soul is so powerful, it creates negative events every single day. And you understand? Like, you start realising that, wow, that also must mean that I am fairly out of harmony with love every single day. And that I'm pretty out of harmony with truth every single day. And I'm not very humble every single day. This awareness grows within you. It's like looking at your face in a mirror and going, wow, I've got a few lines here and blemishes there. We see ourselves as we truly are. It's very, very good. Now, once we get some awareness, now we have a desire generally that needs to develop. So my feeling next for me is that next needs to be created is a desire to address the issues. See, you can be aware of something, but it doesn't mean that you want to fix it. Right? So, for example, you can be aware that you really want a man to love you. You can be aware of that. That's called an addiction. You can be totally aware of that, and instead of fixing that within yourself, you just look for a man who will love you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Can you silence it at your home? Is that right? You look for a man who loves you rather than actually dealing with the fact that you don't feel loved by a man. Can you see the difference? Now, my desire might be, I want the man to love me. Now, that's not what I would call a desire harmonious with love or truth. The desire that's harmonious with love or truth would be, I want to remove from myself my addiction to being loved by a man. Can you see the difference? I want to actually get rid of the causal emotion. So true desire is about looking for causes, the true causes, rather than doing what a lot of other people do, and that is looking at effects. And this brings in another law. One other law that God's made is called the law of cause and effect. Unless you address a cause, dealing with the effect is pointless, is the way God feels. What we are doing on a planet is we are often addressing effects because we do not want and do not have a desire to want to deal with the cause. So, for example, when you have a headache, there must be a cause for this headache. Right? And the cause must exist within the soul. Under the principles that I'm telling you, it's got to exist within the soul. But what do? We feel the pain of the headache, and what do? Take an aspirin or take some kind of headache tablet, and that makes the effect go away. Now, God looks at this and goes, I put the law of cause and effect there so that you would see there's a bigger problem than your headache. And you've just taken it away. Not very wise. Now, many causes of headaches are related to sadness, right? To how much sadness we are suppressing within ourselves. I'm not saying it's the only cause of a headache. It's the cause of many types of headaches. So, if I truly had a desire, I would actually allow myself to experience this headache and go, wow, this is all because I do not want to cry. particularly if the headache was behind my eyes, you know, right behind your eyes. That is a big indicator that your headache is to do with the suppression of sadness. Yes? So I'm going to myself, okay, what do I feel with this headache? If I truly have a desire to find out what's underneath it, instead of suppressing it with a tablet, I will sit down and feel the headache and allow myself to feel what's behind it. What is my real feelings? And you know, it's very rare for a person to not cry when they do that. That's the irony. We have to be fairly suppressed with crying before we wouldn't cry with a headache, because headaches can get very painful. Imagine, you've heard of migraines? Terrible headaches like that. It's amazing what people will put up with just to suppress their sadness, just to keep their sadness away. Now, if I have a desire to deal with the cause, then I will get to the next step. You understand? But if I have a desire to deal with the effect rather than the cause, then I will not get to the next step. It's just that simple. Yep. Now, desire can be grown. It can be nurtured. It can be encouraged. And desire can also be suppressed. So, for example, if I start crying in front of you, many of you, with your current emotional condition, would try to make me stop crying. Now, some of you go, oh, no, it's okay, you don't have to cry, it's not that bad. Some of you would go, what are you doing crying, you stupid man? And others would do different things, right, based on the different emotional injuries that we have at the time towards crying. The problem with that is that our environment then is suppressing me, and then I would go, okay, I have an event. My environment's suppressing me from crying. Why am I attracting that? Something must be in my soul attracting my suppression of crying. There must be something that I want. I want somebody to suppress my crying going on. Once I have my desire to deal with the cause, people around me will not be able to suppress me because I don't want to suppress myself. Right? So far we've gone through our denial into our awareness, and then both intellectual and emotional awareness has to occur at some point, and then we have to have some kind of building desire to actually address the real reason why anything has happened. Now, it can be a sickness, it could be just an event of any kind. We need to address the cause as to why it's happened and have a desire to address the cause. And if you don't have a desire, this is where prayer comes in, I feel. You need to ask for help with your desire. So and this is where we can be honest, we can go, okay, the truth is, I don't want to address my neediness for women. I just want women to do what I want. That's the truth. Now, obviously it's not going to help me, but it's good for me to at least acknowledge the truth. Right? The truth is a part of the universal laws that I need to acknowledge. So I might say to myself, okay, I obviously have this emotion in me where I want women, I'm needy for women's attention and approval. I want them to give me attention. Right? And I have no intention of dealing with it. I just want somebody to come along who will give me the attention and I'll be fine. Right? And then if I'm sincere, I'll go, okay, but it's not very loving because I'm demanding something from a woman. And I'm not very humble because I'm not wanting to get to the bottom. So what I would do under those circumstances is pray. Pray for more humility and more desire for the desire to actually address the cause to grow. And obviously with any prayer you've got to act in harmony with it. So I would investigate why I am not wanting to deal with that emotion. I would actually investigate it. I would ponder about it, think about it. I would talk to other people about it. Why am I so resistive to growing a desire to deal with that emotion? Then what will happen, once I pray about all those kind of things, there'll be something exposed. And what will be exposed is the addiction.